Hello y'all, welcome to part 3 of my Fascist England playthrough in the Hearts of Iron 4 mod, focus trees for releasable nations. In part 2 we invaded Wales and annexed it, we as an Albion led by Oswald Mosley, and also in part 2 we started to prepare for an eventual war with France. And we may have to reconsider that though, because I just noticed recently that France is in a faction with the USA, so we are going to still complete French claims, the focus we are doing here, but after that we're going to do holdings in southern France, then maybe do something else in the military part of our focus tree. I don't know, we just need to reconsider, be very careful and cautious with how we do everything. The USA, looking over to the USA, they're part of the European Defensive Pact, but the USA is weaker than they were at this time in our timeline in 1938, because the USA is divided between, at the moment, 5 different countries. Well, the area that would be the USA. Currently there is a Confederate civil war taking place. It's the fascist versus the Democratic supporters, and we're probably going to end up sending volunteers to help the Confederated States of America fight their Democratic opponents. And the reason for us doing that is because we want them to win, and if they do win, our army, we can possibly get an ally to join us in the Allies, which only at this time consist of us and India. If we can get the Confederated States of America in our faction, we would have a good counter to the USA, who is in the European Defensive League. And so let's get 2 divisions here and get our best commander. Let's have 2 infantry divisions. There we are. And put them together. Let's get Harold Alexander to lead them. And off they're going to go to the Americas. Let's get them a special symbol, the 8th Army symbol, whatever. Send them off to the Confederated States of America. Send volunteers, 2 divisions there to help them out with their war. And the thing about Oswald Mosley, he has a special leadership trait in this mod called Champion of Peace, which means despite the fact we are fascist in terms of ruling ideology for Albion, we cannot really justify any kind of war goals because the world tension has to be at 100%, as you can see here as I'm looking at the Free State of Hanover. So we have to get the world tension as high as possible before we can really do too much. And in our template section, well, our recruit and deploy section menu here, let's go to our infantry divisions and give them 1 more infantry maybe, and that should make them stronger a little bit. We're going to have a lot of manpower that has to go out to fill that up. And our volunteers are going to be on our way to the Confederated States of America. We are intervening in the Confederate Civil War, which is going on mostly in the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky, well, Tennessee, the Carolinas, Virginia, and Florida. And there's also this little pocket here of this group of Democratic supporters is stuck in Oklahoma, but they're probably going to get destroyed by the fascist Confederated States of America. Our volunteers should be there in June 1938. It is 4th June. They're going to be there on the 9th. And we have some divisions here in the 3rd English Army that just got deployed recently. I think they don't have any orders. So let's send them to Portsmouth. They're just going to hang out down there. Give them some special colors. Give them red. That's what they'll be. And we have some naval invasions already set up to strike the French, but I'm not so sure we'll be able to do that anytime soon. Our units have arrived in the Americas. Our 2 Confederate volunteers to help out the fascists here in this civil war. Let's move up to maybe Richmond, possibly help them out there. Well, not Richmond, but into South Carolina territory, the borders there. And they have a lot of troops, it seems, that are just watching borders in the Confederated States of America. They're also watching out for any kind of naval assaults or naval invasions. We hope to break through any sorts of enemies here. Can we do that? Not going to be easy. Yeah, we have no chance of breaking through there. Let's just keep doing parts of our focus tree though. French claims will be done. And I still don't know what we'll do from there. We'll at least complete holdings in southern France. And we'll complete kill Canadian identity, which will give us corps on Labrador and Quebec. Modify officer corps, spirit of the army. Let's get tip of the spear for higher naval invasion capacity. That's going to be done. And let's add some more naval invasions, or redo the naval. I don't know, just add like 1 or 2 divisions here. Like 1 there. Another here. We'll add 2. No, have 5 there. That'll be done. French claims is complete. Now let's do do holdings in southern France. Then we'll do kill Canadian identity. That's the plan. Free civilian factories. Let's build some more civilian factories in England. We'll soon build military factories once it hits 1939. Modify officer corps. Let's get a Air Force commander. We're going to get Cyril Newall. That's going to be done there. And let's get more divisions assigned to these naval invasions orders, so they'll be available for those attacks. There we are. 4 divisions there, 5 there. We have 3 there, and okay, that will have to work for now. They're just sort of going to be there. The Regional Defense Council of Aragon took 11 states, and Republican Spain was annexed. It appears that the anarchists of Spain will win the Spanish Civil War. It's a little obvious that they will, cause the nationalists are dead, Saudi Republicans, and the Carlists are just stuck in Asturias, but they won't be for much longer because they're heavily outnumbered. We have some free divisions, send them to the 3rd English Army, keep training some more divisions, and we have some free dockyards. Let's build a few destroyers. There we go. Let's build the EFGH class destroyers, and that's going to be done with those. Build maybe some convoys now. That's what we're going to do with those dockyards. And this war is so slow down here. We're just holding out. We're just helping out the Confederates, the Fascist Confederates in their civil war. We really do need them to help us have a counterweight against the USA if we ever fight the European Defensive League, which is very powerful, and it looks to be very annoying. Even if we did fight the European Defensive League, they have Belgium, France, and Aquitania, and we got to fight 3 countries, essentially, as Albion, England, and it would be a problem for us. Basic medium tank chassis is done researching, and engineering. We can let's do research for the QF 25-pounder, 25-pounder artillery gun to get a better artillery tech to buff up our artillery and our military. And we're holding back these Confederate troops here of the Confederacy of American States, and they aren't getting very far, not gonna lie. Let's use last stand. And can we get more? How much artillery do we have available? Quite a bit. Let's still not modify our infantry division template at this time. Kingdom of Prussia declared war on the Kingdom of Mecklenburg, and the Kingdom of Prussia declared war on the Duchy of Schleswig-Holstein. And Saxony, what's your deal? You're fighting against Austria, aren't you? Okay, so what do we get for helping you? How many divisions do you even have? You have approximately 4, they have 2, they have 37. We could help the Saxons out here and try to use this as an opportunity to influence Germany, maybe. We do definitely have a huge navy that could help sway the tides of war here. And actually, yeah, let's help the Saxons, who I think we were guaranteeing they want to join our faction allies. We say yes. And who else is going to be on board? That Schleswig-Holstein, maybe? And they are going to be... Do we say yes? Join us. Invite to faction. Join us. Fight the faction. Invite to faction. There we go. I don't know if the Prussians are going to join any factions, but we're part... Saxony and Schleswig, Mecklenburg and Saxony are part of our faction now, and our volunteers are going to be gone out of that war. So let's cancel all of our naval invasion orders and just rally together our men, and our volunteers are going to be going home from the Americas. Let's have Alan Brooks lead a few armies, the 1st and 3rd English armies, and go fight the Saxons, the Prussians in Germany. We got to hold at Schleswig-Holstein probably, and let's send the entire British Navy as well, English Navy, the Channel Force, Home Command, whatever. They're going to just travel to the place in Mecklenburg, Schleswig-Holstein, and just hang out there and defend it. Hopefully Saxony can just stay alive until we get there and can apply some pressure, but I'm not really sure. We'll see. And let's have patrol order go off here and just split this force in half, maybe. Have the current selection of ships. No, split the task force in half. No, yeah, wrong button. Split the selected task force in half. There we go. So they're going to watch the Danish belt. That's what they're doing. And we're going to keep a close eye on the Germans, establish naval supremacy. Then we're going to strike with a attack. Can our units make it into Mecklenburg? We called in India. I think Mecklenburg called in India to the war. And we're going to help out the forces of the Mecklenburg, Schleswig-Holstein, fight against the Germans here. We're going to go on the attack. And the 3rd Army should be on their way very soon. The Germans are really trying here. We probably should just have one army be offensive and the other do naval attacks, and that's what we'll do. And the First Army, just watch the lines here. 24 divisions, okay. We're going to have 12 divisions just set up in Kiel and set up some naval assaults, naval invasion orders, because we'll have naval supremacy easily. And let's have a port attack in Koslun. There we go. And also in maybe where? In where? Go here and set up to attack in Königsberg, which is a important Prussian city. We will have soldiers there and there that will be going there anyway, and set up a few more divisions to go into 3 infantry divisions to go into Rostock. So I hope by winning this war in Germany, we'll be able to get more powerful allies and make Prussia into our puppet, or at the very least make Saxony very powerful. Our units have to be remaneuvered, and our volunteers are returning from the fighting in the Americas, well, in the USA. In North America, send the volunteers we had to the First Army, who are holding out in Mecklenburg. They're really holding. They got to dig in. They got to dig in hard, because it's not going to be an easy war. Our volunteers are arriving, though. Well, not volunteers, but the 3rd English Army. And the 2nd Army is just 1 division in Gibraltar, just hanging out, holding the line. Missing equipment production, that is naval carrier-capable bombers and carrier-capable fighters. Let's start constructing. We'll have a queue ready for Sea Gladiators. And what are we going to need? We need carrier naval bomber 1, Sharks, to be ready to go. And once we get some factories, we are going to work on those, build some of those. And let's go ahead and start working up military factories, constructing them in England. Let's move them up the queue. Beginning of the queue, please. Thank you. All the military factories we will ever need, hopefully. And we're eventually going to push the Germans back. And let's set up here and try to go on the offensive once we're ready. Before the Germans can dig in, just go on the attack now with our army. And they're not going to have much success, I believe. They are trying, though. We don't have the special... Well, they do have a lot of armor, I will say that. They have quite a bit of armor deployed to try and hold us back. Can we get more divisions deployed, possibly, to back up the 3rd Army once they begin an assault? Possibly. Okay, so we have 9 divisions. Send them, well, 11 divisions. We have 2 armored divisions, 2 army tank brigades at least. That's what I mean by armored divisions. They're going to go help out the... What is it? They're going to go help out the 3rd Army. And our ships are trying to move to the Caribbean. Because of some order I accidentally forgot to turn off. It was when we got some naval access from the Dominican Republic, who we were going to try and use to attack Bermuda with, and eventually attack Canada with our focus kill Canadian identity, because we have cores on Canada, well, parts of it. Anyway, that we'll get from a focus, but I decided not to bother with it because I realized we couldn't justify Canada anyway, even if we did have a special war justification we could use on them. And our air wings are not of any use right now. Can you build more air wings? Okay, actually, you do have we have a lot of planes we're not using. And let's send in all of our planes to Germany and focus on Eastern Germany with our close air support, air superiority. We hope to overwhelm the Germans with our airplanes, and just what we can do there. Send in all of our aircraft from East Anglia, Greater London area, Sussex, everything. We have the 4th International, blah, blah, blah. Establish air superiority. Please start bombing everything. Bomb it all. And let's have our naval bombers. Where are they at even? They're somewhere. Let's have more fighters coming now. The 4th Squadron of the RAF is going to watch this area here and just establish air superiority. Have the 10th Squadron, that is naval bombers, they're going to do naval strike in the lower Baltic Sea to try and sink any ships that pop up, or convoys or whatever. We're still trying to advance. It's not working. National focus not set. Let's do kill Canadian identity, just so we'll have the core. Air wings not assigned. Oh, they're in Gibraltar. Send them all the way up to Germany and do the same thing the rest of the air forces doing to RAF. And they'll start just attacking any German troops they see on the ground, who the Prussians are probably very confused about what's going on as they're trying to unite Germany, it appears. And is this naval invasion order ready to go? Where's our Navy even at? They got to get back up here. Great, so we have 1 Navy force coming home. We'll back up to the Baltics. Well, the North, not the North Sea, but the lower Baltic Sea, which is not secure, navally speaking. But we are trying to push back the Prussians here, or at least keep them occupied until the 3rd English Army can begin their attack. And that should be soon once our fleet is here. That 1 fleet is, yeah, they're there now. Can we start this order, please? Can we get that done? Let's get started. We've got to wait a few more days. What's this Air Force not doing here? We should all be attacking something. Just attack them. Okay, no, you go to the Baltics and just keep doing stuff there. Special Forces has been researched. Now let's get the technology Sten Mark II, which is Weapons 3 essentially, 1939 level tech. And that's going to be done. Well, it's going to be started anyway. We're going to start on that research, technology, training. And how much manpower has been lost here in this war total? We have lost 44,000. The Prussians have lost 15,000. They're more defensive than we are, though. So that's no surprise. The Saxons have lost 9K, 9,000. And the Duchy of Schleswig-Holstein has lost nearly 1,000 men. They don't even really have any divisions. I think they had one. So we're taking the brunt of the casualties here. Can we start our naval invasion? Yes, let's go. Here comes the English Third Army that will begin a lot of naval invasions. 3 at once, in fact. We hope to take all of Königsberg. Then maybe we can cut off all these divisions at Rostock. Well, we'll take Königsberg, Koselen, and Rostock. If we get Rostock, we can actually cut off a lot of the German divisions there. Well, fighting for Schleswig-Holstein, and they're fighting in Mecklenburg. Let's get the prepared defense from the Army Doctrine Tree Rehab, which is Grand Battle Plan. Koselen's going well. Can we use force attack? No, I don't think we can. They are trying to reinforce Koselen, but they're not going to be able to save Königsberg. I think we have landed, and let's move in, try to encircle these troops in Releasable and destroy the German troops. Make sure they can't really reinforce the positions here. We have some armor coming down. The 1st Army Tank Brigade is going to smash through the Prussian troops here, and the Prussians are trying to deploy some men, but it may not be enough to actually stop us. If we can just cut them off, it'll be a huge blow for them. It will be. Their armor is going to be encircled. That is a brutal blow for the Prussians. They're going to lose that army. It is easily going to just disappear very soon. And that is just brutal. That is terrible. Low supply, and they're going to be encircled. We can't penetrate their armor, but if they're going to have no supply, it's going to be over like that. And so, yeah, let's just keep going on the attack there. And the rest of the Third Army just needs to move in here. English Third Army, send them to this place. 9 divisions are going to be on the offensive. And I think the Prussians went all in on that attack on Schleswig-Holstein. So they're going to have no one really available to stop our advance for Rostock and Mecklenburg. Well, they have a few divisions maybe, but they're not going to have that many. And we're pushing now from Mecklenburg. There we are. We see 5 divisions, but the bulk of their troops are going to be destroyed. They're going to be gone. And after that is complete, after this encirclement is done, the 1st English Army will be freed up to just help out wherever they can. There we go. And start pushing into Prussia and every piece of land they control. And then the great English offensive into this part of Germany will begin. Let's start the attack now, and begin just trying to smash the Austrian, the Prussian defenses apart. Speaking of Austria, I mentioned them by accident. They did form Austro-Hungary, Austria-Hungary, whatever. And that so far includes Hungary, Austria, and Czechoslovakia. Although it's mostly just a Czech Republic called Slovakia is an independent country. And have we got Königsberg? Yes, we did. And the Germans are having problems holding on to that. The Greater Khmer Empire declared war on the Republic of Vietnam. That's in that's in Southeast Asia. And we're pushing hard into Prussia, and they just cannot resist our numbers at this point. That encirclement was just so brutal for them. And we are going to push out of Königsberg now. Possibly, yes, no, maybe. Get to Allenstein just to say we got it. Our armor is moving out. We're going to reach Berlin very soon. Let's try to restore Saxony in a second, once we get to Leipzig and Dresden. And we're going to have some troops move into Weimar and into Berlin. Let's have these units execute their battle plan aggressively. Execute the battle plan aggressively, please. And these units we have in Germany, Prussia, all these units here. Execute that aggressively as well. Aggressive battle plans, so we can just get this over with. And push. Get rid of this order, though. No more naval invasions are needed. Push. These guys up here will hold. We have a few divisions here and destroy whatever resistance is in Königsberg. This is Mosrin, whatever. We're going to overwhelm the German defenders here, the Prussian defenders. And Prussia made a big mistake attacking Saxony. They probably realize that now. And here comes more to English troops. And we're going to go down to Frankfurt and capture that. And we're really pushing hard at Berlin at this point. They cannot hold it. They cannot. And so we're going to move into Dresden with some troops. We have definitely got them on the ropes here. Go up to Dresden. Go up there. And since Königsberg has fallen, they won't have that to really fall back to. And they're going to lose that. We might hold on to Königsberg even after we win this war. I don't know entirely. We're going to make Prussia a puppet, probably. Or we can just help the Saxons. I don't know. We need puppets. We need someone to help us fight France in the war for that territory if we want to restore the Norman Empire. And that is the goal of Fascist England in this mod. They want to make the Norman Empire of the Middle Ages when the well, it's supposed to like emulate the Norman control over Normandy and France as a whole. Well, parts of France anyway. And let's alter our civilian economy to economy law, switch to partial mobilization. That is done. And we're moving into Essen now. We were. One unit stopped moving there. Continue, please. And just end this war with the Austrians who are just getting crushed. Prussia has capitulated. We have the most of the war score. And we're going to just puppet everything. Just take every state, puppet it all. Yeah, we're going to just do that. Pass, puppet, take all the land. We're going to just annex the land and hand it off to Prussia, essentially. That's all we can do. No use for us to keep it. It's just stuff we'd have to occupy and have to use manpower on just to hold on to. At least we'll have another front with Belgium and France now if we were to fight them. I'm glad Saxony called us into that war. And Slovakia, who's surrounded by Austria-Hungary and Poland and everyone else, joined the Italian faction, I see. I wonder if Piedmont Sardinia will eventually try to fight France. I don't know. They're still fighting Greece, who is alive down here, maybe. They're just hanging out in Crete. They're trying to hold on in Crete more accurately. Let's return this land to Prussia, which is now going to be called, due to the fact it's a fascist puppet of Albion, England. They're called Prulben, and they're led by Felix Steiner, the famous guy who could have saved the Germans at Berlin in real life. Let's send all of our troops back home. They're going to just return there and just get ready to fight France in the near future. And I wonder how the war is going and the Confederate Civil War is going. It's just a stalemate, isn't it? Nobody's getting anywhere there. Okay, so research slot available. Let's do construction 3. Or maybe no. I'm quick with that. Okay, 175 days. That's not too bad. Missing equipment production. We have a lot of factories now due to, I guess, Prussia being puppeted. So let's build more of these special planes. Build a few more fighters, build a lot of fighters. Build more guns. Build more fighters, yeah. Build especially more fighters. Build some more trains. And that'll be that. So we gotta get more resources as well. Do they have a lot of resources, or we're just getting from Malaysia? We'll do that. Maximus Portugal wants to seek to purchase. They're seeking to purchase English ships. Sure, this will be beneficial to both of us. We'll get a civilian factory. And Greece joined the European Defensive League, and that is going to have the Mecklenburg left our faction. Wow, we saved you, and you left our faction. Great. You're going to fight with Saxony? Yeah, Saxony could fight Mecklenburg. But they left our faction, and in our focus tree, let's do, what can we do? Let's do reform the English language to get a national spirit. I think this focus is funny, personally, because even though we're supposed to emulate the Norman Empire, and we make this huge deal about reforming the English language, which is all about getting rid of foreign influences from the English language. It's interesting because when the Normans, who were trying to emulate, were trying to make a new Norman Empire, well, make a second version of it, the Normans had a lot of French elements. They spoke French and such, so language changed. That was a big influence in the English language. In like Middle English, I believe, Greece has capitulated. And is Piedmont Sardinia at a war? Yes, they are. So what do? Do we intervene now, or just wait for Prussia to get a little bit stronger? Let's just keep doing our focuses for now and just not make a move on France and such until they're really not available. We really do need the Confederate States of America to join our faction. We cannot pull it off. Not yet, anyway. They won't join our faction. Invite to faction. They will not do it. Can we send volunteers? It's only 3 divisions, so honestly, given the scale that war is at, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. And let's move our navy back home from the Baltics, sort of. Move them back to England. Send them back to England. And can we get rid of these orders? Yes, we are. They're no longer going to patrol the lower Baltic Sea and the Danish belt. They're going to go back to England. They're going to go to Sussex, the naval base there. And Piedmont Sardinia is going to fight Aquitania. We got a QF 25-pounder gun researched. Good. And who even is the top person, the top country in the French faction? Like, who do you need to capitulate to beat it? You just need to beat Piedmont Sardinia. I see. Okay. And in the European Defensive League, it seems that the major members of the faction are Aquitania and the United States. Surprisingly, it's not France. I guess due to their army size. I don't know, but we have 1 million manpower now. Let's recruit more divisions, get more cavalry brigades, get more of those, just get a lot more divisions as a whole, increase our manpower, well, army size, get more artillery for artillery battalions there, get more infantry. We're going to have 14 and 4 style divisions with 40 combat width, hopefully, and there we are. We got to make a lot of artillery now, though. That's the fun part. Research slot available. Let's do improved artillery upgrade. That will take 205 days. And as soon as possible, when we get those military factories, we're going to make a lot of artillery. We need to. And set that up to just have a lot of artillery to be made. And let's make QF 25 pounders now instead of the 18 pounder guns because it was outdated. And that would take a while for those to be made. But we also have to make a lot of guns due to the fact our infantry divisions are just going to be larger now. And once our units are done rearming, sort of, or at least close to it, we'll make our move on France, perhaps. I don't know. They do have Greece in their faction, which, I don't know. The big concern with the European Defensive League is, of course, the United States. If the U.S. wasn't there, it would be an easy war. Because the USA is there, it's a big issue, even if their military is small. If we could just get one of these factions, one of these countries, to join the Allies, that would really help us immensely. And what are these guys doing? I hope the Confederate States of America eventually fight the European Defensive League, so we'll call them into the Allies. But for now, we can't do that. And France here, no. Okay, so we're just having to think of ways to try and not worry about Canada and the USA if we get into any war with France. That is the big conundrum I have, having to deal with the USA, especially in the European Defensive League. If they weren't there, this war would be very simple. I mean, it would be pretty simple regardless, probably, because they'll be pretty weak. So actually, let me try this. So let's move all of our divisions here from there and send 2 armies, one to France, well, one to Belgium, one to France on the Prussian borders they have there by the land. And we're going to need some troops to be deployed. We'll have to get some more divisions to defend England proper, to defend our ports in case we do fight a war with the European Defensive League, who's going to be busy, because we need to worry about a possible naval invasion. We do have a massive navy, but somebody could always get through that. And how are we doing with producing weapons and artillery? We have a lot of artillery we have to make, for sure. And the Greater Khmer Empire apparently annexed Vietnam over in Southeast Asia. Good for them, I guess. So there is basically fascist into China now. And they might fight Laos, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. They could fight Laos in the future. We might see a message notification like that in the near future, definitely. Let's have our divisions here. Bordering Belgium, have a battle plan drawn up, and a battle plan drawn up for the troops bordering France and Prussia. There we go. So, is the Belgians, are they helping them out in that war? Maybe they are. They are definitely pushing into Piedmont, Sardinia, who could maybe lose their land, lose the war very soon. Do they have reform the English language is done? Let's start. What can we start? Let's start cores on the 13 colonies. And that will give us cores on New England, New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. What is it? Sardinia, Piedmont need to lose? They have to lose a lot of victory points, don't they? But they have mainly just their land in Piedmont, Sardinia. So they also have Sardinia itself. So, I don't know. They just don't have a lot of victory points. We need to make up our mind if we want to strike now and have a chance to really have a big victory. But it's definitely something I'm going to have to decide upon. Let's get a new political advisor, get a quartermaster. No, let's get a Prince of Terror. Actually, let's get Mary Sophia Allen. That does not look like a Mary Sophia Allen, but that will be our political advisor, Prince of Terror type political advisor. And we have a research slot available. Let's research advanced machine tools. And so the current issue facing us is, do we strike at the European Defensive League while our army is effectively rearming, or do we wait and possibly lose our opportunity to do so once Piedmont, Sardinia, and the Novus Imperium Romanum is dead? And the next thing after that is, how do we deal with the USA and Canada and the European Defensive League? And they are a big problem there, big factor and all that. But I'm going to end with all that said, I'm going to end part 3 of my Fascist England playthrough and focus trees for releasable nations Hoi format here. You can check out focus trees for releasable nations in the video description. The link to the mod is there. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Have an awesome day.